So we'll look at these first three questions. I want you to fill in the blanks on the first three questions, and I want you to go ahead and find the value of the four expressions on the bottom. So we're basically doing this entire left-hand side. Do that for me independently, and then we'll check in about it. Yeah, just like parentheses. So in order of operations, they're just like parentheses or brackets. Second set of blanks. Rashida. Not quite. We got absolute value in there. Jefferson, what do you think? Grouping symbols. And the last blank. Gemdus, gemdus. It's a made-up word. You can say it however you want. Just not right now. All right. Let's look at the first expression now. Isabel, what'd you get for the first expression? 9. Keep yes if you agree. Keep no if you do not. Make it quick. Okay, good. Absolute value of -4 is 4, plus 5 would be 9. Questions about that? Next one, Jalen.
11.
Keep yes if you agree. Keep no if you do not. Take the absolute value first because it's like a grouping symbol, which happens first. Third one, BK. Keep yes if you agree. Keep no if you do not. A lot more no's here. Roy, what'd you get?
I didn't get to them, so...
Take a moment to finish it. Okay, same thing PK got. So I'm going to, Navi, what'd you get? Okay, so let's look at this. First thing I do is I take the absolute value. We have 23 minus, that minus is not inside the absolute value symbol. The absolute value of 12 is 12. 23 minus 12 is 11. Questions? Last one, Mr. Luna.
49.
Keep yes if you agree, keep no if you do not. It said 49. Find those absolute values. (25 plus 24 is 49). Questions? Yes, sir. The absolute value of -23 was 23 minus 12. 23 minus 12 is 1. That's what I just said. 23 minus 12 is 11. That's what I said. Oh, you were mistaken. All right. Let's do these one at a time. Go ahead and do this first one. 7, keep yes if you agree, keep no if you do not. Still a bunch of no's here. David.
1.
Keep yes if you agree, keep no if you do not. Got a lot more yeses here. Let's see. So thinking about this again in terms of order of operations, that means we would be doing this absolute value mess first. Looking for the absolute value of +5 because we have opposite signs there. Absolute value of +5 is 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Questions about that? right. Oh, sorry, Jesslyn. -4 plus 9. Those are like arrows going in opposite directions. Shh. Any more questions or extra clarification needed? Axel.
I gotta look because I did absolute value of 4 was absolute value of -4 was 4, and I did 4 plus 9.
So it means you lost your subtraction. Okay, go ahead and do the second one. Zahir, what'd you get?
I got 12.
Keep yes if you agree, keep no if you do not. Good. This one was really just a reminder that when we have a number next to a grouping symbol, that means that it's multiplication. So we're looking 3 times the absolute value of 4, which is 3 times 4, which is 12. And the last one. Dunno, what'd you get? 13. Keep yes if you agree, keep no if you do not. Jesus, what'd you get? -7. Keep yes if you agree, keep no if you do not. Still getting a lot of no's here. LaShawn, what'd you get? Oh, finish up. We'll wait. So looking at this, we have to follow order of operations inside this set of absolute value symbols. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to take the -2 to the third power. Well, that's -2 times -2 times -2. We should be able to look at this immediately and know, based on the exponent, whether this is a negative or positive answer to this particular portion of it. Is this answer positive or negative to -2 to the third power? How would we know it's negative? What exponents always give us negatives when they have a negative base? Odd numbers, because what that means is when everybody's trying to find a dance partner, somebody's always going to be left out, which means that last multiplication is always going to give you a bad date. If it's even, everybody's got a dance partner, so everybody's going to be positive. So we get this and we get -8. We have 1 minus -8. So we do the change switch to make a peaceful plus sign. 1 plus 8 gives me 9. We're now looking for the absolute value of 9, which is 9. Questions about that? All right, and we'll do one more just to give you a reminder about our conventions in terms of being able to label and justify our process. So we're going to look at this and we're thinking about order of operations. We see our absolute value symbols, which we know are grouping symbols. So our first step is going to be doing grouping symbols, and I'm going to change switch. So on the inside of my grouping symbols, I'm doing addition. Absolute value of -7. Absolute value symbols are a little bit different. They don't just disappear after you do all the work inside of them. Absolute value symbols themselves are actually an operation. So we are going to have one more step with this set of grouping symbols where we actually are doing the operation of the grouping symbol. So taking the absolute value of -7, it's going to give me 3 times 7 minus 25. And our next step, I've got a multiplication and a subtraction. I can change switch here because remember doing change switch is just like a multiplication. It's like changing that to a multiplication of -1. We're undoing that multiplication of a -1. My next step is the multiplication. 3 times 7 is 21 plus the -25. Last step is the addition, which gives me 21 plus -25 is -4. Are there any questions about this? Are there any questions about how to justify your work over here on the right-hand side? Because I feel like a lot of people, just because they weren't given a box on their homework that looked exactly like this giant box here with this stuff off to the side, you decided you weren't going to justify your work anymore. That's part of your work from now on. Anytime you see an order of operations problem, you need to justify the steps that you're doing by labeling them in order of operations. Okay? Questions about work expectations?